What's up, y'all? We are back with another Sister Wives update, you all, and this is all alleged. But we had gotten some information from
the same Inquisitor, the same article, Inquisitor.com, and he talked about that Janelle had confessed to the police when Garrison was found that she wished that she had gotten Garrison help earlier. And I just wanted to say, being a mother who has dealt with that with a child, in terms of those, suicidal ideations, I think for me, if I had not had the professional background in how to deal with that, I probably will not have.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I probably will not have because, for the longest time, even though I was a nurse, I kind of frowned on people who went to see a psychiatrist because I just felt like this is something that you should be able to handle. And I don't know. I mean, if there are people out there who feel that way, please let me know down in the comments. But for the longest time, that's how I felt until I started, and I've been through a lot of things. I just felt like, hey, you can talk to God, you can talk to your family members, you can talk to friends and stuff like that. But there was a time that I became quite depressed, and I actually saw my children looking depressed, right? And that was after my second marriage, second time around, and the family had broken up. And I was like, I really want to get them to see someone, to talk to someone, right?
Yeah.
But because of my views, they had kind of adopted my views as well. And so that's why as parents, we have to be careful.
Yeah.
What views we have, because the children adopt those. And so now when they needed help, I was like, I really think we need to see a professional. And so my viewpoint kind of evolved. It kind of changed. And I realized the importance of therapy, and that it's a good thing, and that there are people out there who need that,
Yeah.
And even when you think that you don't, I just think it's kind of like when you go to a doctor for your yearly checkup. I think it's good to just go to a therapist just to make sure you're thinking things clearly up there. I just think it's so important now, So for someone kind of a non-believer to become a believer in it,
yeah,
I think that's, that was good for me and my family. But, I just felt like, so once, I realized that they needed therapy, what I did was I found someone, right? I wanted a woman, but I ended up getting a man because that was the only one that was available. But the way I tricked my kids was just like, hey, I need therapy, and I really want you guys to come because you guys are part of my life.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so that's how I was able to get all of us into therapy. And then we stayed in therapy for I stayed in over a year. You were done after a year.
Yeah, well, I had to go back to college.
But then you continued over there sometimes.
I went a couple times.
Yeah. And I continued, and then I stopped, and, my son has continued. But I think that if you don't have that background, as a healthcare professional, of course, now people are talking about it more, which is great, out there in public, out here on the YouTube streets. So for me, once my son had told me, hey, I think about this, and he had a plan of how he was going to do it, my teaching had taught me that, hey, this is when you have to step in. This is very serious, you know? You need to go get this person help. I think without that, I would not have known that to go get him help, you know? So, Janelle,
Well, so
don't beat yourself down about that. What were you going to say?
Well, also, I think it's also just the type of parent that you are, because you have always been very much in our business. Which, I
Maybe
think
too much.
No, but I think it's a good thing because
much. I'm trying to step out sometimes.
No,
it's hard. It's very hard to stay away from your children's business, But
sometimes I feel like it's good because sometimes there are things that we may want to talk to you about, whatever, and we don't say it, but you pry, and then we're like, okay, we'll talk about it. And that has, I feel, in my honest opinion, I feel like that's always helped me, because sometimes I just will not say anything. I would rather deal with it myself. But if my mom's not asking me and looking me in my eyeball to see what's going on, I wouldn't say nothing. So it's been a benefit. But also you have taught us about open communication and stuff like that or whatever.
And you had a friend who was thinking about that, and it got you really upset. And I remember you didn't want to talk about it at the time, but I kept on I think it's very selfish of him to put you in this situation.
Oh yeah,
then I didn't have I had so much my own thoughts about it that was not always the right thoughts when it came to therapy.
But that guy, he actually, he
was manipulating too.
He
was
very
manipulative as well.
Because he was really using that tactic just to manipulate me or whatever. Because he saw in my eye that I was about to get out of the relationship. That's what I really think. But
so Janelle, don't blame yourself. I mean, honestly, I want to think that Garrison is in a better place. He's in a place where he can be hurt, He's not hurting anymore. There's no pain. He's probably with, didn't he say one of his feline cats, his feline pets died or something?
Yeah, but also
he's with him,
But in the Quran, it says that, when I think it says something about, obviously he's not Muslim or whatever. Yeah. But I still think anyway, but it's somewhere in the Quran it says something about how when you go to when you go to heaven, all your pain is removed. You're basically made young again or whatever. You're around gold and
it's a beautiful way that
milk and honey and everything.
The way it describes doesn't milk and honey, but you guys get the gist. It's a beautiful place, and
and you don't worry about the other stuff in the world. That's not even a thought, because you're such an amazing place.
And now you have an angel, Janelle, watching over you, and he's with your mom. So that's how I want you to think about it. I know this is very difficult, but I do know where she's coming from, because I'm sure she's thinking of her other children, right? And even in that article, it was kind of insinuating,
how could this happen if they're so tight-knit?
Janelle's children, especially because they're so strong. And we know that the people out there who are looking the strongest
are usually the weakest. Not the weakest,
but they're the ones who need
the most
help, because they're the ones who most likely will never ask.
Well, they're also the ones who could snap also, because they hold so much in.
They hold so much in because they feel as though they can handle it, and they don't want to burden other people. So that's why I also worry for Janelle too. I really hope that I hope you're leaning on people, Janelle. And all of your children, who, we look at them and we're like, when you look at all the children, you do look at Janelle's children as being pretty strong, right?
Yeah, I mean, even Savannah, the way she dealt with Cody and everything.
Yeah, Savannah, Logan, who is next one? Hunter, right? Garrison. The only one who I felt was a little more emotional was Gabriel. But yes, emotion is a good thing. Emotion doesn't mean that you're not, you're weak either, right? So Janelle, don't it's hard not to blame yourself, and I know you're trying to figure things out so that, because you're like, I need to pay more attention to all of my children, make sure everybody is good. It's a process. It's something that never leaves you. That has not happened of course, that hasn't happened to my son, but it's something that we deal with here. And, anytime, like, if something has happened, some emotional stuff happens, like, I am always, like, we're always checking in. And I always have to now and ask him those questions, are you thinking of harming yourself? Like, I just have to straight up just ask that, because I know that has happened before. And so I just have to, ask those hard questions. And then he says, no, I'm not thinking about that. I am good, Mom. I'm actually good, or if he says, yes, I'm feeling that way, okay, did you take your medication? That kind of stuff. It's stuff that we have to, this is the new normal, but, and that's okay. But don't blame yourself. It's like you can't get back. I can't even get back the 5 seconds prior to when I was just talking right now.
Yeah.
You can't get any of that time back. All you can do is live, be in the present, and put things in place for your future.
Yeah.
And change that culture within yourself, where you're like, okay, I'm going to open myself, like how I had to.
Yeah.
Right? I had this culture in my mind that, probably got from my African roots, right? Therapy. What the hell you talking about therapy? These weaklings up in here going to therapy for what? Like, and being so judgmental, right? So I had to change that culture within myself.
Yeah.
And realize and understand, even though I was a nurse, like, even though I did a whole rotation in a psych ward, like, but I did not believe in it. But I had to change that culture within myself and say, something, this is something that people need, and this is a good thing, and I've used it, and it has helped tremendously, and I'm so happy that I've changed that culture within my children. Like, because can you imagine they're going through hell on earth and they don't talk to anybody?
Yeah.
They don't get any kind of guidance and all of that. I love when my son, when he started doing that same, like, therapy speak, these are my boundaries, Mom. Like, like, oh, okay. All right. Don't violate his boundaries. So, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And having someone outside of your family to talk to.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have any skin in the game, but just to assist, Yeah. So, it's been a blessing, and we've had wonderful people. I've had wonderful people just helping me to a point of, Maryland was so good for us, like, wow. We had people who, like, he has a team, like, if he's feeling too depressed, doesn't want to do certain things, like, we had counselors come to the house. Like, as a parent, you don't have to do this alone. There's help out there, and take advantage of the help out there till you are okay.
Yeah.
And even if you backslide and then you're not okay, that's okay as well. Okay. So just wanted to say that, Janelle, love you. If you want to talk more about it, you can reach out to me for us to talk. I have no problem with that. Okay, Janelle,
email is down below
just
in the
want
description.
to tell you that. Yeah. So
it'll be okay, Mama.
It will definitely be okay. And while I'm shouting out Janelle, let me also shout out to Kathy. Just want to say hi, and yes, I am thinking about you. I have been in a depressive state a little bit. I think I've been grieving for my mom also. I just have, my mom was someone that I spoke to every day. I was writing a book about her life. So it's just been hard. It's been really hard. I wasn't expecting her to go, and So yeah, I've kind of, and then I also have not been feeling too well. But I'm pushing through, and I've had my moments.
Health journey also.
Yeah, so I've had my moments. I've certainly had my moments, and Mary has been very, very supportive. But yeah, I've been in my little funk for a few months now, and actually, I will say for a good 4 months. It's just a fight through. But yeah, you guys, therapy is so important. Being in Tanzania, I'm actually missing my therapy because I do really need it at this point. I do. So you guys, anyone who's on the fence about it, anyone who's dealing with someone who has suicidal ideation, please take it seriously. The first time they tell you, take it seriously. Ask them, what their plan is. Let them talk it through with you. Get them the help. If you have to walk with them to go do that, go ahead and do that. Yeah. So just want to say that.
And when we said Kathy, we mean Catherine Green. I know we have not reached out in a while, but I just want to
have another Kathy here too.
Oh,
yeah,
we do?
Yeah, we do. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Catherine Green and Kathy, we're both shouting you out, you all.
Yeah, because I know you guys reach out via the email, so just want to tell you guys that. But yeah, I will be reaching back out.
Yeah. Well, we love you all.
Love you guys, and I do appreciate. I appreciate, like this life is really, it's like a village, and I so appreciate you guys who tune in, listen in, leave the comments. I'm actually tearing up, but leave the comments, right? You just have no idea how much it means. And sometimes we don't know what people are going through. But yeah, let's just continue to just show love to each other and just be a light out there in the world, for other people,
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say, but love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Janelle. Hang in there and reach out, okay?